Hi everyone, I am back with the 2017 Mickey and Minnie card series. This is the first part of the video that will be at the beginning of every video for the series for you. And this is the cutting of the cardstock to create the corner fold for the card. So what you need is your card base, which is going to be 5.5 by 8.5. I will just zoom out a little so you guys can see. So you need a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece for your card base. I'm using black again. Then you're going to score that at 4.25, and then you're going to need a trimmer. Now I've got the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which is perfect for this. I know Fiskars has one that's similar, that's got the little V-blade that you can get, and the reason that we're using one like this is because we are cutting in the middle of the card, so a rotary cutter is just not going to work. You're not going to get the precise cut that you need. So if you've got this type of trimmer already, perfect. If not, Stampin' Up! Does carry these, and there's always a link in the description below. So, yeah. Now, what I did with mine is, I'm going to zoom back in. I have marked mine, as you can see, with some white cardstock. So the measurements that you're actually going to be using are going to be the 5/8 mark, the 2.5, the 3, and the 4 7/8. The reason I marked mine is if I move this cardstock out of the way, there's a dark brown print underneath this, and I can't really read that when I have darker cardstock underneath there. So I just took a thin piece of washi tape and just wrote on it with a really fine Sharpie, and there you have it. So let's get to the cutting. Now here's our score mark at the 4.25. So what we're going to do is take this edge of our card, and I am working around my tripod, so excuse all the arms and hands in the way. So we're going to line this up at the 3-inch mark. We're going to take our blade, move it to the 2.5, and we're going to cut, down to the 4 7/8. So you should have a little cut there. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to line it up at the 3 again. Then we're going to move our blade to the 3-inch. And we're going to cut upward to the 5/8. And you should have a little slit like this. So that's how you do the cutting. Okay, so now that you have your cuts completed, all we're going to do is fold our card in half. So it's going to be a portrait style A2 size card. Go ahead and give your fold a good crease. Then you're going to take your little cut flaps here and fold them back onto each other, like so. Then we're going to go ahead and crease those. And then you've got the shape of your corner fold. So our pattern piece on the front side here is going to measure 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. But then you're going to, from your top left corner in, you're going to measure 5/8 of an inch, put a little pencil mark. From the bottom right up, you're going to do 1 7/8 and put a little pencil mark. Then you're going to stick it in your trimmer and you're going to cut it diagonally, or just grab a ruler and a craft knife and cut it that way. So we're going to go ahead and attach this underneath this flap, like that. So I'm going to put adhesive on my straight cut lines, not my diagonal, because if I put it on this diagonal, it's going to glue my card shut. So on your straight cuts is where you want to put your adhesive, whatever adhesive you like to use. So we're going to slip this under here. If I can get my cardstock to stop sliding. try to center this best as I can. And then go ahead and press that down. So then you've got a little bit of a black border on the front, or whatever your card base color is that you're using. So we're going to work with our square here, and that's 3 inches on this black part. So your mat, whatever color you choose, is going to be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and then your pattern piece you choose will be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and you're going to cut 2 of those. One for the inside and one for the outside. So your pattern piece can be the same on both, or it can be different. Mine are different, but they still coordinate. So it's however you choose to do that. I'll just get this on the front. Then we'll work on the inside. And then we'll come back out and then decorate the outside of the card. So this is the September card that I actually skipped on accident. Oh, I'm going to have to trim my white cardstock a little bit. It's kind of sticking out on me. There we go. Just a tad bit too long. Alright, so like I said, this is the makeup card for September. And it's a birthday theme, in case you didn't know by the candles. So for the month of September, in all of my Mickey and Minnie card series, I do a birthday card. Just in memory of my dad. So that's why I do one in September. I always do the birthday theme. So here's our inside pieces, and they measure the same as these. So your mat will be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and your pattern will be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So that's going to cover up our little square here on the inside of the card. I'll just layer these together. And if you watched the last video for the series, which would be the Christmas card, I mentioned that I do have the 2018 series already planned. I've got the card style designed and everything. I'm hoping that I can get a supply video up. I'm running behind. I should have had the supply video up technically back in like October. But it honestly was not on my mind at that time. So I've kind of let time get away from me. I'm going to have to try to crunch it and get it in. So here's what the inside piece looks like. Now we're going to go ahead and put our mat on this side, which is just white cardstock that's cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. If you like to work in quarter size measurements, it would be 4 by 5 1/4 instead for you. I like the 1/8 inch. Okay, so we're just going to center this on this side, and then we'll get some stamping done. So there's our mat, and our card looks like that. So I'm using another stick by Stamps by Judith, and this one I'm using the open balloon. So there is one that is solid, and there's a link in the description for where you can purchase these. And for the balloon, I'm not going to color it in or anything. I'm just going to leave it open. But I'm stamping it in Soft Sky. And I'm hoping it'll turn out the way I want it to, because it was trying to pull the lighter blue out of this that matches this ribbon. So let's see how it goes. And stamp one in the corner. Oh, that's going to be fine. And then I'm just going to alternate the direction of my balloon. I end up with 7 of them stamped. So 1 in my quarter, and then 3 along the top, and 3 along the side. So to enhance the balloon, you could always do like I did in the Christmas one, and you could stamp that in black ink and then do colored balloons, however you want to do it. Or get the solid balloon and then the balloon is already colored in for you, whichever way you want to do that. I don't know why I closed that because I still need it. So there's our little balloons. Now we're going to do our sentiment, and it's just happy birthday. It's from the Teeny Tiny Wishes, which is still currently available. So it's the happy birthday one down here. So this is what the stamp set looks like. And going to just stamp that in the soft sky as well. Okay. And then clean that off while I'm thinking about it. We're going to close this up so I don't stick my hand in it, because that will happen. I don't know how many times I've done that. So again, the word window punch. I just love this punch. So there's my happy birthday. And the modern label punch in whatever color you have of your card base, so it coordinates together nicely. And if you're just watching this video from the series, these are both retired punches, unfortunately, so they're not going to be sold on the website any longer. Sometimes you can find them on eBay, things like that, but they're not necessary to make these cards. You can use whatever you have. So you can die cut, you can use your silhouette, you can use your Cricut, whatever you have. You can hand cut it, doesn't really matter. I just happen to have these and love using them. So with our little rhinestones on there, I'm going to go ahead and center my happy birthday. Just like that. Pull out a couple of Mickey heads. And in the description, I do have a link on for a video on how I make these Mickey heads with circle punches. And I also have a larger size in that video, that same video. So you could just play with the circles that you have and come up with whatever size you might need. Let's get that one down. Okay, and this one. This little sticky stuff over here is bugging me. There we go. Alright, so there's our Mickey heads. Grab some dimensionals. Go ahead and get our sentiment down. Then all we have to do is add that bow to make our Minnie Mouse. So I'm just going to lay this down and make sure it's semi-straight. And I did forget to glue my flap down, and I really don't like it popping up. So you kind of want to do that before you put the inside piece on, but you saw how easy I just did that. So there's that part. Now we're going to go ahead and add the bow for Minnie, if I can find my dimensional or glue dots. And then this card will be completed. And the 2017 Mickey and Minnie card series will be completely wrapped up. So I'll go ahead and put that there. And there you have the missing September Happy Birthday Mickey and Minnie card for the 2017 Mickey and Minnie card series. Links will all be in the description underneath the video. Any questions or comments, just leave those in the comment section. and I will get back to you when I can. And yes, there is a new series coming. I will try to get that information out to you guys, and hope that you follow along again next year. So there you have it, the missing birthday card. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.